Fellow Toastmasters, thank you for coming to join me on this session of Speechcraft. I think I'm going to leave the introduction to Brandon when he has a chance, but I'm just going to go ahead and start the meat of this presentation. Speechcraft is not new, but we haven't used it heavily yet. I conducted Speechcraft many years ago. Our club gained 3 members, and I thought it was a really good tool, but it hasn't been doing that for a long time. So I have a little bit of experience and share it with you, and also talk a little bit more about what we have today. Today's agenda, I'm going to break it down to 3 different sections. And the first section is to introduction of Speechcraft. And the second section is Speechcraft for Basecamp. That is something everybody's interested about. And the third section is how to conduct Speechcraft at your club. Speechcraft has the material for us, resource for us to use, but it doesn't have to follow exactly the same pattern. You can use it to meet your need. So let's talk about what is Speechcraft. Sometimes you listen to this word, Speechcraft. Sounds very fancy, and you wonder, what is that? But just think about one thing. When you go to college, when you went to college, you have a student orientation. And the school put together the program, briefly introduce to you what the school has to offer. So you can plan your life at that university or college. You go to a company. I used to work at IBM and then NASA. The big organization, they always have orientation. They open it for all the new employees. And within that 1 or 2 days, they organize the way for you to understand what this organization has to offer. So you can start prepare and plan your career in that company or that organization. Speechcraft is a tool that Toastmasters organization designed for introduce Toastmasters to the public. How do you normally learn about Toastmasters? I believe most of you follow your friend, introduce them to the Toastmasters and sitting into 1 or 2 sessions and see if you like it, you learn something about it, or sometimes they assign a mentor and teach you about it. And there are situations that you charter a club that you have to have 20 members, and then they have demonstration meetings for you to get you see what the Toastmasters meeting is like. But a lot of people say, I really don't want to get involved, because you know, when you get involved with one organization, then you get more and more responsibility. Your life, it gets stuck there. And so when you step into a new organization, you have to be very careful. And that is why a lot of times people don't want to join any organization, any more organization. At the time that I joined Toastmaster, I have 2 young kids, and I have a dear friend, and she is a Chinese American, and she spoke beautiful English. And I always use English as my second language as an excuse And then I made mistakes and I was not ashamed. But then I thought, if you want to be professional, you gotta speak the language correctly. So I asked her name is Judy. I asked Judy, I said, how do you learn how to speak this beautifully? And she said, join Toastmasters. Well, it's a really powerful invite, but then you know how many years it took her to convince me to Toastmasters. 10 years. I always have excuse not to go. The reason of that, she showed me all those books and I said, but got enough to do every day. I have 2 kids and I have family and I have a full-time job. I don't want any more work. So it took me 10 years until she took me to a contest. I listened to the speakers who spoke so beautifully. I said, if I can just speak half of it's good, this is worth it. So it took a long time, but because people don't want to have commitment, but Speechcraft is a program. You don't have to commit to become a Toastmaster, but you get to give the speech, get to evaluate, get to do everything the Toastmaster can do, get to do, and this is wonderful. No string attached. You just go to those sessions. You like it, you join. You don't have to. So that is Speechcraft, and Toastmaster Design has programs, instructions for the coordinators, for the mentor, the instructors, and for the speech crafters. They all have books. And when I was conducting Speechcraft at that many years ago, and those books are very good. We just use it. We finish in 6 weeks. But today we have different environment. We do everything virtual. Of course, later on we'll have face-to-face. Then also, Toastmaster learned a lot of the education program from Pathways. What is so good about the Pathway that we all know you can work with your speech, and at home you can follow the instructions, and also when you finish the project you get approved and get a credit, and your VP education and your president can look at your transcript. So they know how to help you. So Speechcraft right now is going to use Basecamp to conduct Speechcraft. One thing that a lot of people were puzzled about is how are you going to merge this together? But today I want to explain to you what they have done is using the technology that they designed for Pathways. Like Pathway has different path, has level 1 through 5, and every one you have step-by-step instructions and also your report. And they want to use the same technology to do Speechcraft. So if you go to your site, the Toastmaster site, you sign in, you see Pathway. I do not find Speechcraft. Speechcraft and Pathway is side by side and different environment. So Speechcraft has its own. It's called Speechcraft Gateway. I'm going to share screen with you in a little bit. what it looked like. So when you get on, you can find it. So Speechcraft has its own. So you will type in the Speechcraft. Speechcraft has what they call Speechcraft Gateway. I am going to read it to you. This is a very important link, and that link is okay. That link is speechcraft.toastmasters.org. If you do that, you will be able to go to Speechcraft Gateway. But okay, let me do this. Cancel this. How you get into that? If you go to Toastmasters, you click on education. You'll be able to see a bunch of education listed there. One is Speechcraft. You click on Speechcraft. That doesn't get you into Speechcraft. That only explains to you what Speechcraft is about until you click, like you purchase Speechcraft. Then you can start your business. So within there, you just click on purchase Speechcraft bundle. It's called Speechcraft Digital Bundle. You click on that, they will tell you $50. So you pay the $50, you get the bundle in digital form and also in paper form. They will mail it to you. But then they will send you an email with a number of your ID number, of your purchase number, order number. With that number, you can go to Speechcraft Gateway in order to start Speechcraft. Unfortunately, I cannot share because some of the things I really want to see if, hold on just 1 second. Let me see. Give me 1 second. If I still cannot do it, I will give up. Hold on. Okay, now I am going to see. This time I put it on the desktop now. I should be able to show you. I was testing yesterday and everything was okay. I do not know why it's not working. The share is not working. Okay, I'm just going to talk about that. I can do that.
Caroline, this is Roy. Your camera is off. At least I'm seeing a black screen for you. So I don't know if because of that you're not able to share.
Oh, my camera
we're not even seeing you. We're not even seeing you.
Are you kidding? I thank you for letting me know. You know, I have issues with. I thought I started the camera, and Roy, do you remember you see me earlier?
Yes, you're here now. You're here back. You're back.
Can you see me now?
Yes.
All right, that's good news.
Sometimes it takes a long time for the camera, your share screen to come on. Too.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you got to kind of give it a chance.
Just try it again and just continue on.
Okay, you can see me, my picture right now, right? I don't see myself.
Yeah, you're gone.
Can you see me?
No.
Okay. Speaker view, start a picture. I want you to, Yeah, my thing, it shows that my video and audio both on.
You're on. You're on here. We can see you.
You can see me?
Yes.
But I cannot share
Yeah.
screen. I cannot share screen. Okay, forget about sharing screen. You can see me. That's good. You still can see me, right? Because I saw something. Start video. I don't see me, so I just want to make sure if you can see me. Can you see me again?
Not right now, but you're
No.
gonna come on back. You're gonna come on.
Are you kidding?
Somebody-
That is a little bit confusing.
Just go ahead.
Is that okay? Just continue.
Yeah.
You can see me,
Yeah,
right?
continue. No.
Very good.
Continue, because you got plenty of time.
Very good. All right. I really hope that I can show you the page, but remember when you go home and trying to look at it, the Speechcraft gateway is most important link. So I'm explaining to you is you have your pathway and you have your Speechcraft gateway. Okay, these are two parallel things. Pathway is doing the real thing, and Speechcraft gateway is for introducing Speechcraft to the publics and let them practice Toastmasters separately. Okay, those are the ways the base camp is, but you cannot see anything until you pay. You can only see some presentations from some people, but that's not good enough. I thought I know everything about Speechcraft. I don't need to pay the $50 in order to be able to see the bundle. But 2 days ago, I thought, if I don't see it, I don't even know exactly what to expect. So I thought that is a good investment. I went ahead and did it. So I'm so glad I got it. I got it because it's different than what I assumed. So if you are interested, it's really a good investment to get into Speechcraft bundle. It's $50. And Toastmaster decided to not continue the paper version. So if you use paper version, you don't get credit. Not only you, your participants will not get credit. So I would highly recommend you to go purchase the bundle and start the program. One of the things is how you design your classes. Okay, Speechcraft, you have 3 different type of individuals that working on this. One is coordinator. Coordinator is to work on getting the participants ready and getting everything that we need for Speechcraft ready, who is doing what. And then the committee will select advisors. Advisors is like you and I, we were in Toastmaster for a long time. We know all about it, and we can mentor the participants, which we call Speechcrafters. I really recommend each Speechcrafter will have a mentor assigned because it is a lot of work for one person to take care of everybody. The new Speechcraft for Basecamp, you can have 5 Speechcrafters. So the 5 Speechcrafters, when they get assigned, they can go. Somebody post this. Who is that? Or I did.
I did, Carolyn.
Very
No,
good.
I did.
Yeah, I said, well, I couldn't do that. Anyway, this is Speechcraft gateway. When you put speechcrafttoastmaster.org, you will get that. No, don't go through that because it's confusing, please. Just the first page is good. Once you get that, there is a sign in. So log in, you log in it, you just put your Toastmasters number and your password, you'll be able to get into the Speechcraft. Yeah, that's okay. We can get out of this right now because I'm gonna talk about something else, please. Okay. Let me try one more time because I have something, yeah, still not working for me. Anyway, so the coordinator, he has a page will show the different things, different sessions. For example, if you have a Speechcraft program with this group, you decide you have 6 sessions, or you decide you have 8 sessions. So the coordinator can decide which session, the contents of each session. I just give you some simple example. The first session for Speechcraft, it will be introduction. It will be the introduction for the Speechcraft. And for example, to tell the participants what is about, what are you going to get in the next 6 or 8 sessions. So the first time is just presentation mostly, to talk about it. And then the second time, you're going to start letting the participants start giving icebreakers. Of course, in the first time you tell them how do you do icebreakers, and then second session, the participant will start talking about practice their icebreakers. And also the trainer will give us education talk about, for example, prepare a speech. How do you prepare a speech and receive the evaluation? Then that meeting is over. Then the third meeting, because on the second meeting you already explained about how to give and receiving. And so the third meeting, you will have the participant to give a speech about that. Then the trainer will give another education speech about how do you select the title, the purpose of your next speech. So every time the meeting is that the trainer will explain how to prepare your next speech. So the participant will be able to give a speech for the next time. But then starting the second or third session, you start practicing the table topics. So when 8 session is over, then the participants will get a certificate. The certificate will be signed off by the coordinator. They can take this certificate and go to different Toastmasters to prove that they've been trained and approved. So different club of Toastmasters, they club, and they can accept them. And depends on the club, they probably normally will accept them and also give them the credit for what they have given the speech. It's maybe for the old times, for the paper versions, like the CC or CTMs, they gave them at least 3 speech credit. But for the new pathways, a lot of them probably can use their credit for approve them for the level 1, because level 1 is icebreakers and evaluations and research, those type of things. So when they finish the icebreaker, they go into the club. They're not starting from scratch. They can start from level 2 or it depends on the club. Some people will ask me a question about how much should you charge the participants? Many years ago, we charged $20 per person, and that covers our material, and also we have gained them to join our club. But it depends on your club. This year we have pandemics. I think it's a little bit difficult. I don't know what you want to charge, but I would think you would at least charge $10. From $10 to $30, it depends on what suits you. I think it's totally a very affordable classes. Then what is there for our current Toastmasters? Some people would think, my goodness, if we're doing this program, am I going to stop doing my pathway? This is going to delay my pathway program. It is really not, because during this time, we gave the participants a chance to give a speech. Their speech are short, but you can still give speeches, and those educational speeches you can fit into your pathway program. Not only that education program that you can fit in your pathway program, by using Toastmasters material to give the speech, it is not really a bad thing. Doesn't mean that you have to read the line by line. You look at it and to see what you want to design your speech to suit your situation, to meet your need. So it is a win-win situation. It helps the current Toastmasters be able to practice and be able to learn even more about Toastmasters and practice how do you train others. I always think a trainer learns the most. Sometimes you sit in the class and listen to all the information, but if you are a trainer, you have to make sure you know everything about it. You do a lot of research. So being a trainer is a really good way to improve yourself. And also, as a participant, then they can have an opportunity to practice. I can guarantee you, once they have the 6th session, most of them will join Toastmasters because they will find out 2 things. At least they'll get rid of their us. I believe every one of you had the experiences to watch a new Toastmasters come, and they gave us first speech, even the ones that they are a very open-minded person, they can give a speech without problem, but they have about 20 us, easy. Until after 3rd meeting, you can just see that drop to like within 5. So those are easy fix. And other things is how can they talk and organize the speech. They improve a lot. So most of the people go to Speechcraft, they will end up joining. I believe that. Unless the program is really too difficult for them or something, but usually if they can get in there and can have an opportunity to practice, they most likely will join the club. But Somebody would even question about, can our current, current Toastmasters and become a participant? The answer is yes, because it is for new people. But if you have 5 seats, you have opened, you can still do it, because this will give you opportunity to not only be a trainer, you also be a participant, and then you can one day become the best coordinator. One of the things in Toastmaster DTM program, they have a list of things besides 2 pathways. And one of the things is you either be a coordinator for the Speechcraft, or you be the coordinator for the youth leadership. Youth leadership is not easy. I mean, if you have some need, like church groups or school, they invite you for that. you can be that, but to coordinate that, it is an effort too. So it's your choice. Not only you learn something, and this is your way to get the key to become a new DTM. So Speechcraft has a lot of advantages. So highly recommend you and to do that. One of the things I wanted to mention before, I was going to show it to you on my charts. By the way, if you are interested to see my charts, I'll be glad to share it with you. Just send me an email. I will share it with you. I'm not going to publish on somewhere, but I will share you my charts with the basic things and links. So what is the objective for the Speechcraft project? There are a few things it had mentioned, which is that all that, but for new people, to introduce Toastmasters to new people, they're practicing with their programs. What are the major accomplishments you expect them to have? They will know how to choose a topic. Of course, when you work on the ice break, it's easy because everybody knows about themselves, what their passion is, and they have a lot of story to tell. But then later on, many people will ask me, say, oh, what am I going to talk next time? I basically mention it to them. To design a speech is, I'm an artist. I retired from NASA, then I become a full-time artist, and I'm a watercolor artist. When I design a art, doesn't mean that I have to find something exact and I have to look pretty, I want to copy. You cannot do that. You paint from your heart. Something inspire you, then you paint. Every day of our life, something inspire us. So writer and painter will work on their projects from what inspired them. And as a speaker, what has inspired you the most in your life around you now? Anything can be a subject. When I was young, anything can be my subject. I use a pencil and paper, I just draw all the time. And speakers, you're driving, in the car, and then your mind is fluent of the inspiration. Something happened to you today, you want to tell somebody, write it down. Those topics, it's very easy to find. I cannot believe that we're out of topics. for giving a speech, because if it's yours, whatever inspires you, you can be your topic, something you have feeling for. Prepare to present, giving and receiving feedback. I think for me to become a Toastmasters, I think what I have learned the most is receiving feedbacks, and also not receiving people, to evaluate, to listen to people. You're giving a speech and then you receive the feedback. You're listening to the evaluation. I think listening is hard. A lot of people like to talk. You have seen two kids in the playground. They both talk and nobody listen. But Toastmaster train us to be quiet and listen to others. And you learn, be surprised, you learn so much about it. Know your purpose, body language, how to evaluate, vocal variety, and how to use the powerful words. Those are basic things that when you work on Toastmasters, you know, I still miss our old book. The CC or CTM book has the 10 speeches. I think even we're not doing that right now, but I think that 10 speeches is really good. We can still review that. Why Toastmaster move the Speechcraft to Basecamp? For two reasons. One of the reasons is the conductor have opportunity to evaluate the progress of the participants. They just sit on the computer and go to the score sheet, and there is the records. You can review that, so you know exactly where they are, what they need. And also, Toastmaster will stop paper version. Oh, also so the conductor and the trainer can help them and to evaluate them. So everything is online. And also the participants can go for, can look for what is the next. And they're learning how to do this online also. But remember, they also have paper material. They'll mail it to you. That everybody has book, and online is the process, is online. I talked to Toastmasters. They said they're going to end this by the end of June. So if you are going to conduct Speechcraft, I would highly recommend you not to worry about spend the $35 for the old version. Just go spend the $50 for the new version. Now, how to conduct the Toastmaster Speechcraft within your club. You look at your club needs, and sometimes your club is very small. You cannot have enough trainers. And at this time, you can probably invite trainers from other places. Most of Toastmasters, you want to have an opportunity to give them a speech. They say, okay, I'll come. You know, many of us, from very shy speaker into a person that looking forward to give my next speech. Somebody wants to invite me. If I have time, I'll go. And from a shy speaker, try to avoid giving a speech to a point that I would love to give a speech, enjoying giving a speech, enjoying the feedback. So that is where a lot of us are right now, enjoying giving a speech. So I thought if you have not enough people, if you don't have enough people to give as a trainer, you can always invite somebody will come to help you out. But the mentoring is important because, especially right now, it's online. You know how difficult it is when we all started doing the pathway, and pathway was new at the time, and there's still a lot of software issues we have to deal with. So if you have already gone through that, you can help the other person, you know, what the workaround is. So it is important to have mentor. So I recommend that each person has a mentor. You invite instructors and invite up to 5 participants. And the coordinator will prepare lesson plans and project plans for the session agenda. How come I lost? Okay, can you see me? Hello?
Caroline, we've got about 15 minutes left. Do you have time for some Q&A?
Okay, yes, that's it. And I want to give the time for everybody for question and answer. I have no idea why I lost the screen. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm trying to deal with the screen.
You kind of talked about the first one. Yeah, you kind of talked about the first one. It says, I was excited about Speechcraft until I saw a requirement that one club member is required each Speechcraft participant to mentor and evaluate. I understand that there are 4 Speechcraft participants, then you'll need 4 club mentors, plus 1 leader. Doubling the involvement makes scheduling 5 times harder. Any suggestions on scheduling and mentorship?
Right. The coordinator can also be a mentor. If you have very few people, it is just if one person can help the 5 people, or you can find somebody from the other club and to see if they are interested to mentor. I'm just saying, if you have one-to-one, that is most effective. If you don't, then you have a group mentoring.
All right. One more question here. We got, what are the optimum amount of sessions to keep potential members engaged enough when they will join your club at the end of the Speechcraft?
I would say most of them will join because it's very effective. Now, if you have 5 people, I would think 2 to 3 will join. The thing is, if they get an opportunity to practice, yeah.
Yes, ma'am. One more question here. We got, how much should you charge for Speechcraft? Would you charge enough where the fee should transfer to a club membership if needed? Or should you just focus on the Speechcraft and then talk about joining Toastmasters afterwards?
The thing is, you have to pay in front to at least cover your Speechcraft material. But a lot of people say that $20 per person is legitimate. And some of the club maybe have more money, and then they can probably give them some discount when they join Toastmasters. But the best benefit is although they pay the $20, but they already finished like level 1. So they actually have a benefit from that. So it's not a losing money for them, and most of people don't mind. I would suggest $20 per person is legitimate.
Yes, ma'am. All right, I got another question here. And as you've really talked about it much, but I just wanted to bring it up. It says, will Speechcraft help me on my job? Will Speechcraft help me on my job?
Yes, yes, yes. Toastmaster helped us on our job because we are not afraid to explain things, and we explain things better. You know, for example, as a researcher, they can do a lot of things, but they cannot explain. Or the most important thing is to be able to convince people, one of the things we learn a lot from Toastmaster is how to persuade. There is a book, you know, a pathway is persuasive influence. And, but then you have to persuade the newcomers, and that trains you, that is training you how to be persuasive. So if you can do to present what you do, and you can persuade people to buy your product and your idea, that will definitely help your job. I have friends become upper manager at the time before she become that, and she come to me. I was at NASA. She knew that I was a Toastmaster. She asked me to come, and 2 years later, she got to where she want to be.
Yes, ma'am. Sounds good, Caroline. I got another question for you. It still talks about, people are really curious about, you know, the money and the licensing and all that. It's a minimum of at least 5 people, correct? But I mean, if you have more than 5 people, should you charge more money, or is it still? No,
you have to buy another. The license is for 5 seats for $50. If you want more, you buy extra because you don't have enough material. And the thing is, you have only 5 people. Even you have 10 people sitting there, only 5 people can go online to work on their project and records.
Okay, so if it's so for each program, it's a minimum of 5 for each program. So anything over 5, they have to buy another license.
Right, correct. Mixed amount of 5. You can you each program have 5, but you maybe have only 2 people, you know, join. So I would hope that you can utilize the 5 seats.
Yes, ma'am. That's most of the questions. I do want to apologize earlier. I do want to talk about Miss Caroline Wang real quick, if we do have a second here. You know, I was chugging along earlier with the program, and then I came back on early to make sure I had everything lined up, and I couldn't get on the microphone. So I wanted to apologize for that to everyone. But I did want to tell everybody that Miss Wang is doing a great job.
Yeah, I apologize. I couldn't share the screen. I don't know. When I practice, I can share the screen. I don't know. I have some stuff. But anyone who wants to ask me additional questions later, you can give them my email address.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I wanted to make sure that people know about our presenter. So I wanted to let them know that, you know, Miss Wang is a retired NASA engineer and researcher. I mean, that's, you know, that sounds like, you know, you're a rocket scientist. Everybody says they want to be a rocket scientist. She's been a past division governor. She joined Toastmasters in 1998 and received her DTM in 2001. So that they make sure people realize, you know, you're one of those people that took your time and got your DTM and learned how to do it correctly. She's very passionate about art and is a professional watercolor artist, which I think is great. She used Toastmaster as a platform to reach her goals. Toastmaster is a lifelong journey for her to help her become a professional individual while she tried to achieve her goals.
Yeah, I was.
Caroline is doing 2 pathways. She's doing the innovative planning and persuasive influence. She's also working on her pathway present mastery level 5. She's a member of North Alabama's Advanced Club and is Higher Heights Club. So that she's done accomplishment. I'm so glad that she presented today. Does anyone have any more questions? Please put them on the Q&A. And then other than that, Miss Caroline, Toastmaster Caroline, anything else you want to say about Speechcraft?
Yeah, I was a past district governor, not division. Well, I was division governor, but district governor.
Yes, ma'am. District. Sorry about that. Yes, ma'am.
No problem. And then I finished 2 pathways, and my goal is to finish all pathways so that I get to know what's going on.
Oh, wow. Excellent. All pathways. Yes, ma'am.
No, I plan to.
Yeah,
Any
yes, ma'am.
questions?
No, that's outstanding. No, ma'am. I think we answered most of the questions. Some of the questions kind of are kind of repeat from the thing before. The big question was always about the money and the licensing and the different weeks. So most of those we answered.
Yeah, but there's one more thing that I add in is some people use their club meeting time to do the Speechcraft. Some people do it separately.
Yes, ma'am.
But I thought probably do it in the club time is easier for everybody because people has commitment.
Well, when you did the program, did you, how many times have you did the program, Miss Caroline?
I only did it once.
And when you did it at that time, did you get any members out of the Speechcraft program you did?
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Okay. And so did you also use it to acquire your DTM?
No, at the time I just did it because I was a DTM already.
Yes, ma'am. Well, that's like I said, it's most of the questions. Everybody else is, like I said, pretty much asked all the questions, and I think I've answered most of them. Unless you have anything else, we got 2 minutes to spare. Unless our host, Ms. Tucker, has anything else to say. Well, if I'm looking at the agenda next, we got coming up next is our humorous and international speech contest coming up next. We've got 5 contestants in each one. So thank you guys for joining us today for the Speechcraft. If you have any more questions or comments, anything, do make sure to put them in the chat, and I will email you back with the answers. And also let us know what you think about our topic today. Make sure to go onto the homepage and put some comments into the community, and also make sure to put anything in the message, and also make sure if you have time to give us some feedback what you thought about the program today. I've got 1 more minute till, so make sure y'all have a great day.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.